Carlos, el príncipe de Cuadras vino hablando, diciendo, retando que va caldito de gallo, que va a comer gallina, que ha hecho muchas cosas. ¿Vos estás enterado de todo lo que él ha hecho?
Sí, yo pues he visto las entrevistas y todo lo que dice, ¿no? Pero pues bueno, es parte del show, como él dice, pero pues ya arriba del ring, yo creo que ya las palabras van a salir sobrando.
¿Las lesiones ya quedaron atrás?
Sí, ya gracias a Dios, ya pues en la última pelea no me dolió la mano, en los entrenamientos ya no hubo lesiones y pues yo creo que ya, por digo, van a ver a un gallo como cuando peleé con Viloria, con Chocolatito.
Si llegas a ganar, Gallito, ¿contra quién podría enfrentarte? ¿Quién quieres enfrentarte en la próxima pelea?
Contra el campeón, ya sea Rungvisai o Chocolate, no ahorita es Rungvisai, pero pues a mí me gustaría que ganara Chocolate.
¿Te sorprendió la derrota de Chocolatito González, no?
Sí, sin duda a todo el mundo nos sorprendió. La verdad que yo pienso que ganó la pelea, pero pues todo se paga, ¿no? Ahora se la robaron a él para mí, pues ojalá que gane esta pelea, que yo creo que sí.
¿A quién te gustaría?
¿Te gustaría enfrentarte de nuevo con Chocolatito?
Claro, sin duda, todos saben que eso es mi mosca, pues la verdad que un 40-50% en fuerza, ¿no? Ya que iba muy bien preparado y yo creo que esta pelea son dos categorías más arriba y yo creo que ya me siento mucho.
Iban bien por eso del millón que se estaba hablando, ¿te acordás? Que merecían ganar mucha plata. Hay que ganar, hay que demostrar que sí se vale, sí los valen ustedes. Sin
duda, yo creo que los pesos chicos siempre dan buen espectáculo para todos, ¿no? Y pues, eso que a la mayoría de la gente le gusta y yo creo que esa pelea sería una pelea de hasta más, ¿no? Hasta 5 o 6 millones de dólares, pero no sé por qué.
No pagan lo que deben.
Muchos mexicanos te consideran incluso para ganarle a Carlos Cuadras. ¿Cómo es esa posibilidad y lo que vamos a ver el día de la pelea?
Bueno, yo creo que más que nada van a haber una gran pelea porque nosotros somos muy buenos y pues yo sí me considero un poquito más mejor que él y yo sí que voy a ganar este sábado.
¿Esta pelea sacará chispas?
Sí, sin duda. Los mexicanos pues, nunca se rajan, ¿no? Yo creo que esta pelea va a estar muy buena para todos. Yo creo que nos vamos a robar.
Okay. Muy amable, Juan Francisco.
¿Una inspiración extra porque los dos perdieron con él?
Pues la verdad que más que nada por esa pelea es por la oportunidad por hecho yo, la oportunidad de un nuevo campeonato del mundo en los Super Mosca y pues yo siempre he dicho que gane Rungvisai o Chocolate, yo quiero el campeón, ¿no?
¿Tiene ida y vuelta esta pelea?
¿Dónde?
¿Tiene ida y vuelta esta pelea?
Así es, yo vengo a ganar y me bajo ganando, ¿no?
Tenés esa espinita clavada del Chocolatito González, esa pelea del 2012, ahora en 115, ¿esa es tu expectativa también?
Sí, claro, sin duda esa pelea tiene que darse, ¿no? O sea, tarde o temprano se va a dar y pues qué mejor que ahora en los Super Mosca.
¿No tiene cuidado, más bien una alerta? Quizás muchos consideran que Cuadra tiene un poco más de pegada, hablando de la pelea del sábado.
Pues ahí arriba vamos a ver quién tiene más pegada, vamos a ver quién está más preparado y pues quién es mejor, ¿no?
En cuanto a la resistencia, los entrenamientos, ¿cómo estuvo la preparación para este duelo crucial?
Bien, excelente. De hecho, simplemente en el físico que obtuve en esta preparación van a ver a las peleas pasadas porque pues como saben vengo de una lesión y estuve un poco inactivo arriba del ring y yo creo que ahora van a ver un nuevo Gallo Estrada.
¿Te vas a mantener en las 115 libras entonces buscando esas peleas importantes, ya sea Chocolate, Nieves and Inoue, el mismo Cuadra, en este sentido que se enfrenta a vos este sábado?
Claro, sin duda, yo quiero ser campeón del mundo en Super Mosca y vamos paso a paso, no ganando, hacer unas defensas o unificar con algún campeón, claro que sí me gustaría.
Bien, muchísimas gracias Juan Francisco El Gallo Estrada, destacado boxeador, ex campeón del mundo mexicano que también está enfrentando.
Gracias.
Gallo, muy rápido. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. ¿Qué piensas de Canelo Triple G? Somos como 2 semanas que tenemos para el gran pelea. ¿Qué piensas de esa pelea?
Bueno, por los récords, por la magnitud de esta pelea, yo creo que va a ser una gran pelea, no tanto para la gente como para ellos, ¿no? Yo creo que va a ser una de las mejores peleas que ha habido últimamente, aunque sí me inclino un poco más por Canelo, ¿no?
¿Quién es el favorito en esa pelea? ¿Qué piensas de quién es el favorito en esa?
Pues motivo, o sea, para mí yo creo que Canelo, no sé la verdad cómo están las apuestas, pero para mí yo creo que por los movimientos más rápidos, más joven, Canelo, yo creo que debe ganar.
¿Piensa que va a ganar por knockout, por decisión?
Pues a Golovkin le entran mucho los golpes, Canelo no es muy fuerte como para noquearlo, pero si se acaba la pelea esa va a ser en los últimos rounds, pues apabullándolo, ¿no? Pero no creo, yo creo que se va a ir a decisión.
¿Qué pensó del Mayweather versus McGregor y todo eso?
Pues un show, un circo, ¿no? Más que una pelea, fue un show y pues a los gringos les gusta el show, ¿no? Yo creo que eso fue más que nada pues la pelea más vendida pues, de todos los tiempos en cuestión de un peleador de la UFC que era su debut como boxeador profesional arriba del ring y pues bueno, la supieron vender esa pelea y yo creo que pues ellos son los únicos que salieron ganando, ¿no?
Cuando oyes Cuadras dice, caldito de pollo y todo eso y que ponga en Instagram y todo, ¿ríes cuando ves eso o es todo es serio para usted?
Pues me da risa y pues la verdad me da igual, ¿no? Yo creo que arriba del ring vamos a demostrar quién es el bueno, quién es el buen gallo, ¿no? Porque pues abajo se pueden decir muchas cosas, tanto un peleador como a otro, pero pues ya arriba del ring todo cambia, ¿no? O sea, se hacen estrategias en los entrenamientos y pues yo estoy enfocado en ganar y no en hablar, ¿no?
¿Necesita poner un performance espectacular con Cuadras, haciendo que está en HBO y tiene los gran peleas del gran stage? ¿Necesita hacer un performance espectacular para ganar las peleas con Chocolatito, la revancha con Chocolatito o Inoue o quien siga, para ganar las grandes peleas?
Pues sin duda tengo que lucirme, ¿no? Tengo que lucirme en esta pelea porque pues mi primera pelea por HBO, una eliminatoria de campeonato del mundo contra un gran peleador como Cuadras, yo creo que tengo que lucirme y más que nada ganar.
Muchas gracias, Gallo. Buena suerte. Thank you, brother. All right, guys, let's we're just waiting on everybody else. Guy had a good take on Canelo vs. Triple G. Check that out. Check and see what the Oh, thank you, Gail, for watching. What does the stream look like? Trying to make sure I have like good internet right here. Quadras just got here.
Es una pelea que saca la chispa.
Sí, va a ser una pelea fuerte, una pelea dura. Contra un mexicano siempre es garantía, dos mexicanos arriba de Pin, entonces yo estoy esperando una guerra. Pero vengo bien preparado, listo para darle su medicina al gallo.
Son dos fajadores, dos guerreros mexicanos. ¿Será que este combate tiene ida y vuelta?
No lo sé, esperemos salir con la mano en alto primero. Yo espero que sea una contienda dura, pero que no llegue a los 12 asaltos. Yo quiero ganar por nocaut, no quiero ninguna decisión controvertida, quiero convencer bien a toda la gente y a los jueces. Entonces vamos a salir con la mano en alto por cualquier vía de todo.
¿Esta pelea representa el reto más difícil?
Pues bueno, sí, cada pelea que viene es el reto más difícil. Yo creo que de ganar esta se viene otro reto más difícil, ¿no? Vamos paso a paso y ahorita estoy bien concentrado en ganarle a Gallo Estrada.
La última, ambos perdieron con el Chocolatito. Esto es una inspiración extra.
Bueno, pues a mí me gustaría sacarme la espina contra el Chocolatito, pelear con él, espero que gane también y pues que se dé la revancha.
Gracias.
Carlos, el príncipe Cuadra, para de Nicaragua. Carlos, aquí estamos pendientes siempre de tu pelea, por supuesto, porque ha sido rival también del Chocolatito González. ¿Listo para este sábado?
Ya estamos listos, estoy esperando que sea una buena pelea y pues esperemos que la gente le guste, ¿no? Estoy listo para esta pelea y voy a ganar.
Dice el gallo que viene bien preparado, que después de la lesión ya se ha recuperado y que va a tratar de ganarte esa noche, incluso tratar de ser un poco más boxeador, moverse por encima del cuadrilátero.
Bueno, pues qué bueno que venga bien preparado y qué bueno que ya no le duela la mano ni nada, porque cuando le gane no pongan ningún pretexto que le gané porque le dolía la mano o por cualquier cosa.
¿Cómo ves la pelea? Los mexicanos son aguerridos, fajadores. ¿Ves que hay un knockout esa noche?
Sí, yo creo que la pelea puede acabar por knockout. Yo le voy a meter presión desde el principio y le voy a dar duro, le voy a desplumar a ese gallo.
Okay, un saludo para Nicaragua entonces.
Un saludo para toda la gente de Nicaragua que nos está viendo. No se pierdan la pelea este sábado.
Y don Juan Caldera.
A don Juan Caldera, el de los pollos. Mira, a mí que me gusta comer pollo, papá.
Okay, saludos al programa Deportes al Máximo.
Gracias. Saludos al Canal 10, a todos los que nos ven en Nicaragua.
Muchas gracias. Carlos el Príncipe Cuadras, destacado boxeador mexicano, se enfrenta a Juan Francisco el Gallo Estrada.
Bueno, déjale, pongo aquí para que salga la conferencia en mi página. Oh, yes.
¿Va a ponerlos en Instagram, right here?
No. Voy a decir que... Oh, a ver. Aquí lo voy a dar.
Tienes para sorpresa, ¿verdad?
Ese pollo que puse en Instagram esta mañana. Did you see that Instagram post? Like the rubber chicken? That was funny.
Sí, nomás que... No sabes cómo se da. Allá está aquí. Dile que nomás le pongan ahorita que empiece la transmisión. Sí, soy los acá. ¿Cómo estás, Adriana?
Bien, ¿tú? A ver si... Ya listo, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yo no, ya ansioso para... Oh my God.
Explica de que el post que puso en Instagram con esa.
Pues es que si vieron el pollo que puse en Instagram es como va a quedar el Gallo Estrada, que gallo ni qué gallo, va a quedar desplumadito. Así, se le voy a sacar las plumas una por una en cada round que vaya pasando.
¿Piensas que va a ser un knockout? ¿Cuál round va a ser?
Bueno, pues yo no sé qué round, no sé qué tan bien entrenado venga el gallo. El que si no entrenó bien se va a caer en el primer round. Entonces, yo le voy a meter presión desde el principio y esperemos que esta pelea no llegue a los 2 exactos.
¿Piensa que está entrando en su mind con todo el...
Bueno, esperemos que sí, que también sirva de algo, ¿no? Yo siempre me gusta picudear a mis rivales, que se suban enchilados y pues eso me gusta porque saca lo mejor de ellos y así sé que peleé con el mejor Gallo Estrada o con el que sea.
Va a sacar chispas esta pelea.
Va a sacar chispas, pues esperemos que venga bien duro el gallo también porque yo vengo fuerte. Hey man, how are you?
¿Hablas japonés?
Sí, poquito. Ahí hablo.
Estuviste en Japón, ¿no?
Estuve como año y medio viviendo allá en Japón, entonces Sí, tuve que aprender un poquito. Tuve que aprender ahí. Chocolate, fírmale aquí. Ahí, donde estás tú, porque lo voy a marcar. Gracias.
Okay, we're going to start. Everybody, thank you.
I know. Oh, you missed it yesterday. It was just like the same. Like, I was like, oh, shit. I didn't expect that many.
It's crazy.
You think the small one? You can zoom in like good on the face. I would say try the other one. Well, let me see where you're at. Like the max that one goes. Just kind of. Well, let me like kind of point it.
Carlos.
The small one. Yeah, I was gonna say like kind of like ready to go, so that as soon as this is over, you can switch them out and then go to that side. I'll go to this side.
There we go. Now everyone can hear.
Yeah, I'll let you.
Well, we're just about to get started here for this press conference. I'd like everyone to get settled in. We have so many terrific world-class fighters here today and their representatives. And you can see the turnout here is tremendous. It's really a tribute. It's really a tribute. Testing. Okay, there we go. It's really a tribute to the quality of the fighters and also the cooperation from their representatives, their promoters. The interest in the super flyweight division really has just taken off recently since HBO made the vital decision of putting Chocolatito Gonzalez on their network, and he really seems to open up the doors for this division for all these fighters on mainstream network TV here in the U.S. Without HBO's support, we wouldn't be here today for this show, and Chocolatito wouldn't be at the stage of his career without their support, and then all these fighters wouldn't have the platform that they're getting right now from HBO, and frankly internationally. You see the international flavor of this show, and you see all the television cameras, you see all the media coming from Nicaragua, from Japan, from Thailand, from Mexico. Obviously, it just it's tremendous, a tremendous turnout. So we want to really thank everyone involved with the show, all the fighters. You know, if the fighters don't want to fight, you can't make fights, and it's a tribute to the fighters, to the promoters, and everyone involved with the show to make this happen. I just want to start out by recognizing. Let's see. Oh, first I just want to make a few announcements about the show. The doors will open at 4 o'clock at the Step Up Center. The fans like to come out to to do tailgating at the StubHub. It's famous for that, and I don't think we could have a better venue. We really fought hard to bring this show to the StubHub. There were some conflicts originally with the scheduling. I said it has to be there because that's the natural home for a type of fight like this under the open skies in Southern California. It's supposed to be 80 degrees in Carson on Saturday, and so we're really looking forward to a great fight, great show. Tomorrow we have the weigh-in, which will start at 12:30, and also 1 o'clock for the HBO scale. It's open to the public. We encourage all the fans to come down to the weigh-in. It's going to be at StubHub, so anyone that doesn't have a ticket can come down. They can see their fighters up close and purchase a ticket at the same time. So we expect to sell out. We're very close right now. There are a few remaining categories left, but it'll be a tremendous atmosphere and really a tribute to the popularity of all these fighters. It's very unique to have one show with one weight division with so many talented fighters. Not only all the HBO fighters, the undercard, Brian Viloria is a fan favorite on the undercard, so it's very unusual for that, and again, it's just a tribute to HBO and to everyone involved with the show. I'd like to just acknowledge all the different promotions that have been involved with the show. We have to give Mr. Honda and Taiken Promotions a tremendous amount of credit for his cooperation. He leading the charge really for the lighter divisions. He's the promoter of Chocolatito Gonzalez. Have to thank also Nicorlong Promotions. They're the promoter of Rungvisai Bank. Has a great representative of the promotions, and with their cooperation, we were able to make the first fight in Madison Square Garden, March 18th. And once the WBC ordered the rematch, because it was such a close fight the first time, both sides wanted to prove that they're the true champion, and so we have to give them a lot of credit for taking the rematch. And that was really the start of putting the show together. Once they agreed to the rematch, then everything else pretty much fell into place. Also have to thank Ohashi Promotions, representing Inoue. Inoue has become one of those legends that, you know, all of his punching power, you know, his fighter from Japan, a champion coming for the first time here to the U.S. So we're really happy that the U.S. fans have a chance to see him live, and all the HBO viewers have a chance to see them on HBO and naturally on the international telecast. Salida Promotions, I've known Dimitri Salida for a long time. His cooperation in putting the fight together with Antonio Nieves. There are not a lot of people that want to fight Inoue at this stage. I mean, Inoue has that reputation of his nickname is Monster, and so we have to give Dimitri a lot of credit, and Antonio Nieves a lot of credit for taking that fight. Also, longtime friends of mine, Zanfer Promotions, Fernando Beltran, who represents Estrada, and then also my good friend Osvaldo Quicle from Promociones del Pueblo. This is between Cuadras and Estrada. This is the kind of the war of two Mexican warriors that a lot of the local fans are looking forward to. So that's really the top to bottom of the HBO fights. You know, there's a lot of different ramifications. The winner of Cuadras and Estrada is ordered by the WBC to fight the winner of Rungvisai and Chocolatito. So there's so much talent on the show. I could really see from these all these matchups, I wouldn't even say 3 great fights, I would say 4 great fights with Brian Viloria on the undercard. There's so much talent on the show that I can see these guys fighting 2 shows, 3 shows down the road, just with different matchups. So with that being said, I also want to give a big thanks to Dan Beckerman of AEG, who runs the StubHub Center. As I mentioned, it's the natural venue for this show. I'd like to bring up at this time a longtime friend of mine, works with HBO. He's intensely involved in the fight. Next week we have a fight also next week from Las Vegas. This show here has really been set to promote the Canelo Triple G fight. This is will be after this show on HBO. We'll have the 24/7 that's airing, the second episode of Canelo Triple G. But it couldn't have been a better show, a better platform than the show we've put together. So I'd say this is the best show we've ever put together, and the following week is the best fight that we've ever put together between Canelo and Triple G. So with that being said, I'd like to bring up the Vice President of HBO Sports, Tony Walker.
Thanks a lot, Tom, and thank you all for coming out to talk a little boxing today. We really appreciate the support that the media in Los Angeles gives to boxing. I think it's become the boxing capital of the world. K2 and Tom and the whole team has got to be given a lot of credit. This is one of the best triple headers that I've ever seen. It is stocked full of champions, warriors, fighters who have a lot to prove and a lot to gain, and most fortunately for us fight fans, they will absolutely light each other up. This is the essence of what HBO Boxing After Dark has always wanted to be. Tom pointed out that the fighters all come from all these international locations, and it just points out the appetite for boxing. Not only will there be a big crowd at the StubHub, but we expect a big audience on HBO because the appetite for good, big-time boxing at a high level has never been greater. I don't want to forget to thank our friends at StubHub. This place has become synonymous with all-out brawls and great fights, and we always have a great broadcast. They're very hospitable to us. The telecast will start at 10:15 p.m. Eastern and Pacific time, and all the customers who can get the HBO feed on the East Coast will be able to see all the action at 7:15. So it's a great night. We're very proud to be here. And we really want to thank the fighters for putting so much on the line and giving us the chance to enjoy watching the best fight the best. Tom mentioned 24/7, episode 2 of Canelo Triple G premiering right after live boxing. That show will look more at their training than the first fight did. From everything I've heard, it's getting pretty intense in the camps. These guys really know what's at stake here and are going to give a very memorable show for all boxing fans. And with that said about Saturday night, I want to make an announcement for an event that HBO is hosting at Venice Beach tomorrow from noon till about 7 p.m. It's called 24/7 Canelo Triple G, The Experience. It's going to be at Venice Beach at the Windward Plaza. There's going to be giveaways, boxing demonstrations. In fact, I think there's going to be a few special prizes for all you media members who want to show up. Please tell your supporters, your customers. It's going to be a great celebration of boxing, a lot of video. It's going to be displayed on monitors that we have there. It's going to be a very fun time, and it fits right in with the great boxing weekend we have in LA. So thanks for coming, and we're pumped. See you guys.
Thanks, Tony. Cool. Now I'd like to introduce a representative from the WBC who is integrally involved in this show. As I mentioned, Rungvisai versus Chocolatito is for the WBC Super Flyweight Championship of the World, and Cuadras versus Estrada is the official eliminator for the WBC for the winner. So with that being said, I'd like to bring up Pepe Suleiman. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. Please forgive me, I'm a terrible improviser. One time I forgot Lemieux's name. Last time I froze when I tried to say Estrada's name, so I'm going to read what I wrote, okay? I am extremely proud to represent the WBC in this great event with the best promotion in many years. In times when one promoter wants the whole cake for himself, we are witnessing an exemplary effort with one of the most exciting cards in many, many years. I congratulate all promoters involved in this as an example to all how great things can be accomplished when working together. K2 taking promotions, Ohashi, Promociones del Pueblo, Sanfer, they're all united to give boxing fans and the world this Superfly card. Thank you very much, HBO, for supporting this event with the lower divisions, which are all often ignored, and in the and are the main platform of boxing. Rungvisai, our champion and the toughest warrior. Chocolatito, one of the best pound per pound, always. Cuadras, a prince and an artist in the ring. Estrada, a most skilled and unstoppable opponent. Inoue, the monster. He was first a WBC champion, and he's always welcome to come back to the green belt if he desires. Nieves, he has the most important ingredient of all, which is hunger. And of course, we have the great Brian Viloria with us. So there is too much at stake in each of the great fights. I wish all the fighters the best of luck, and this is certainly the beginning of a great golden era in the lower divisions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pepe. Just want to acknowledge a few other people before we start with the principals here. The fighters are always the people, the ones that the fans are out here to see. So, just go back off. Okay, there we go. Want to acknowledge the California State Athletic Commission. We've had a fantastic working relationship with the California Commission. Especially like to thank Annie Foster, who's the executive director. It's their primary focus to make sure all the combatants are licensed and pass all their medicals, and at the end of the day, the primary concern really for everyone involved is to make sure everyone comes out safely on Saturday night. So we really want to acknowledge the California Commission. We'd like to also acknowledge some of our sponsors. Our main sponsor is Tecate. Chivas is a sponsor. Cafe Agave is a cream liqueur. This is actually the first boxing event that Cafe Agave's got involved in. We always love to see new sponsors getting involved in boxing because that's really what allows us to put on shows like this. Fred Loya. It's on? Okay, there we go. Couldn't hear it for some reason. Fred Loya Insurance is also a sponsor, and so is M150. It's an energy drink with Rungvisai as his sponsor. So we'd like to acknowledge all the sponsors now. We'd like to get, and we're just setting up the belts here so everyone can see the championships that both Rungvisai and Inoue are bringing into the ring with them. Yeah, that's good like that. There's a few other fighters who aren't on the dais that I'd like to acknowledge that are here. I'd like to acknowledge George Acosta. George, where are you? There he is. There's George there the black hat. George is in. I gotta tell you, he's a local fighter, but he sold a tremendous amount of tickets.
George, come up here. Just wait a minute, quick, so you can see him.
And I'd also like to acknowledge Sinisa Estrada, another local fan favorite. Sinisa also sells a tremendous amount of tickets. So Sinisa, if you want to come up. These are two of the warriors that are going to be on the undercard. Thank you. Well, that's better. Thanks, Thorson. I was struggling the whole time with that microphone. Okay. Now I'd like to bring up actually a close friend of mine. We go back to the days of Kevin Kelly and Junior Jones, two great warriors from the New York City area. They fought at Madison Square Garden numerous times, and he is representing Brian Viloria. I can't say enough about Brian's heart and courage and everything that Brian's accomplished in the ring. Brian still wants to prove that he's a world-class fighter, that he fits in here on the dais. He's sitting on the dais, and he wants to prove that he fits in still with all these champions and world-class fighters. And that's why we have him as the first fight on the international broadcast, and right before the HBO telecast. I also want to point out that we're going to be showing, because we can't have this type of undercard without it being able to be viewed at home and actually internationally. It'll be streamed on ringtv.com, and that'll give all the fans that aren't able to be live at the show the ability to watch these undercard fighters perform in the ring. So I'd like to acknowledge Ring TV for that. So with that, I'd like to bring up a good friend of mine, Gary Gittleson, who can then introduce Brian Viloria. Gary?
Brian has become a very special member of my family. We met at the 2000, right after the 2000 Olympics, and Brian was one of the American boxers in the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. He's had a marvelous career and is a multi-world champion in 2 different divisions. It seems like forever I have been knocking at HBO's door through various executive regimes, and it wasn't until this very open-minded group of executives that we were able to really bring these lower-level guys to HBO. I think what you're going to see Saturday night is the most explosive show in my memory. I think I've always felt that pound for pound and dollar for dollar, these guys give you the very, very best boxing exhibitions and professional contests that you'll ever see. I know they're not going to let us down. Brian has fought 2 of these very great world champions already. I know the kind of heart and talent they have, and I just feel so privileged to have Brian a part of this show. I'm very grateful to Peter Nelson at HBO. I'm very grateful to Taken Promotions, who has given Brian the opportunity to be here, and of course my good friend Tom Loeffler, who is doing such a marvelous job, not only for the smaller weights, but for the big show, probably the best show of the year at Golovkin and Canelo. So I want to introduce to you my favorite fighter, Brian Viloria.
Short. Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say thank you guys for joining us on the press conference and leading up to the fight on Saturday. First of all, I also want to thank God for giving me the strength to be fighting at this level of competition through all these years. You know, I've been a pro for 17 years, and to still be able to be fighting amongst these world champions and these great fighters is an honor and it's a privilege to be doing that. I also want to thank my team, Team Viloria, my manager, and also my pseudo father, who's been a great friend to me all these years, Gary Gittleson, to Ruben Gomez, who's been there for me every single day, training, everyone at Wildcard, to Marvin Somodio and Freddie Roach, who helped me prepare for this fight, and my backbone, also my wife, Erica Viloria, who's been the one whipping my team, you know, in a shape every time they get out of line. So I thank you guys for giving me the a chance to prepare myself greatly for this fight. I also want to thank Tom Loeffler and K2 Promotions, everyone there at the office who put a great show together. Taken Promotions, Mr. Honda and Akemi, who has given me this great opportunity to fight on the stage. Everyone at HBO to finally, you know, give us smaller weight divisions a chance to fight in front of the world, and giving us this opportunity and giving us this big stage to fight. You know, just a couple weeks ago, I think a month ago, we had another press conference and everybody looked fat. You know, gordo, out of shape. But now I see them and everyone's on shape. Everyone looks skinny, and I think if they weigh in today, everyone will make their weight. And that only tells me one thing, that everybody's ready for Saturday, and that they're ready to give their best foot, to show their best fights. And I believe this group of guys is gonna turn the world on to the lighter weight divisions. And you know, I've fought a couple of these guys already, and they're world-class caliber fighters. And you know, these guys are gonna show their best and show their all, and the fans are gonna be in for a great treat. For one, I know I've trained really hard for this fight because I know the opportunities that it will present itself after this fight. And so I'm taking every fight seriously. Like I know all these guys will be taking their fight seriously, and I just can't wait. You know, Saturday can come soon enough, and I'll be there, and hopefully you guys will be there to witness this great card, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys again. Hello.
Thanks for the compliment, Brian. I've been training with Triple G up in the mountains in Big Bear. A lot slimmer than the first press conference. Is this thing still? Pull it up. Pull it up? Okay. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. There we go. Brian's much better with that. So with that, I see Ben Lira in the back. I don't know, Ben, is Ruslan here in the room? No, he's not here. I'd like also, before we get to the HBO fighters, I'd like to also acknowledge Ruslan Madaev. He's going to be on the show. The reason why is because he's trained by Abel Sanchez, but the reason why I want to acknowledge him is he's in a very tough fight. Ruslan's 9-0. He's undefeated with 4 knockouts, but he's fighting very difficult Abdiel Ramirez. He's 23-1 with 22 knockouts from Mexico. So that's a big step-up fight for Ruslan. He knows if he's going to be on a fight like this, and that's always been Abel's philosophy, is you know, kind of sink and swim, sink or swim, and that's a fight that really the fans shouldn't miss. That's going to be 2 fights before the HBO fight, so that's why we really encourage fans to come early to see the guys like George Acosta, like Ruslan, like Sinisa, also Nick Fraze, who's with Team Rungvisai. He's from Thailand. He's going to be on the show as well. So it's really from top to bottom. It's a great show. With that being said, I want to get into the HBO fighters now. Where do we start? The first fight of the triple header is going to be between Carlitos Cuadras, El Principe. There he is over there, and Juan Francisco Estrada. I mean, these guys, they want to prove that they're deserving of another opportunity to fight for the WBC World Championship. So this is going to be a tremendous matchup. I think this is going to be a fan favorite, kicking off the HBO telecast. I'd like to introduce first with Estrada. I'd like to introduce Juan Hernandez, who can say a few words about the promotion, and also introduce Juan Francisco Estrada. Juan, are you here to come up? There's Juan. And also, again, Estrada is with Fernando Beltran with Zamfir Promotion. So we really want to thank Fernando and Juan Carlos Torres for all their work in putting this fight together. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. We want to thank everybody for coming. Like Tom said, this is going to be one of the biggest nights of boxing because we have pretty much the 6 top super flyweights in the world on the same card. I think I'm obviously biased because I represent Estrada, but I think on Saturday we're going to show that he's actually the top of the 6. We're super confident that he's going to beat Cuadras on Saturday, and then he's really looking forward to either a rematch with Gonzalez if he wins, or fighting the Thai champion who did a great job by beating Roman. I want to take a quick moment to introduce our champion. We want to thank also Brian Viloria and Gary, who gave us an opportunity when they fought in Macau. And now I'll introduce the proud former champion from Puerto Peñasco, Juan Francisco El Gallo Estrada.
Bueno, buenas tardes a todos. Estoy muy contento de estar aquí. Estoy muy contento de estar aquí pues para esta gran cartelera, muy motivado y concentrado más que nada para para dar un gran show este sábado y ganar más que nada, ¿no? Pues más que nada agradecer a HBO por esta gran oportunidad, a Q2 por la gran oportunidad y vamos a hacer a Carlos Cuadras convertirle en princesa, ¿no? Así que vamos a dar un gran show este sábado, más que nada, pues todos los peleadores son pues de alto nivel, ¿no? Y pues vamos a esperar a este sábado.
Good afternoon to everyone. Very happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity to fight on this great card. So many fighters, great level fighters, and I'm looking forward to making Carlos Cuadras into a princess, and I'm well prepared.
Agradecer a mi empresa Latin Sport por la gran oportunidad que me está brindando también de entrar a HBO a esta gran cartelera, ¿no? Y agradecer a toda la gente que me apoya, a todo México.
Of course, I'd like to thank my promotional company, Latin Sports, to all the fans that have always supported me, and looking forward to giving them a big fight.
Y bueno, quiero ser campeón del mundo de nuevo y vamos paso a paso, ¿no? Ojalá que gane Román González esta pelea para enfrentarlo, que yo estoy seguro que voy a ganar este sábado y hacer una segunda pelea.
I'm hoping that, of course, Roman wins on Saturday, so that when I win, which I'm sure I will, then I have a second opportunity to face him.
Es una pelea pues eliminatoria al campeonato del mundo de cinturón que ostenta Rungvisai y pues estoy motivado para ganar y pues esperar a la oportunidad, ¿no? Ya sea con Román o con Rungvisai.
I know this is an elimination fight, and looking forward to meeting the winner of the championship fight, whoever that might be.
Gracias.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave the microphone at this site. With that, I mean, you see the rivalry already in this first HBO fight. With that, I want to acknowledge Osvaldo Kikle, who's the promoter for Cuadras, and also his manager Salvador Bremen. They're unfortunately not able to be here today, but we want to acknowledge both of their efforts in making this fight. And I'd like to bring up with that a fan favorite who fought here at the Forum last year against Chocolatito. The interesting thing, if I could just interject this real quick, the interesting thing, like Estrada had just mentioned, is a lot of these guys, both Estrada and Cuadras, had fought Chocolatito. Even Brian Viloria up here had fought Chocolatito before. And Cuadras had fought Rungvisai in Mexico. So you see, these are all warriors, all world-class guys that are willing to fight each other. And that's what makes this card so unique, is that you can mix and match all these guys and you're going to be in for a treat for a fight. So with that, I'd like to bring up Carlos El Principe Cuadras.
Así le va a hacer el gallito este sábado. Así ya como pollito desplumado. Bueno, quiero agradecer a HBO, a K2 por esta oportunidad. A Taken Promotions, que siempre me ha apoyado, Mr. Honda.
I want to thank K2 Promotions, of course, Taken Promotions, Mr. Honda, who's always been behind me.
Y quiero decirles que estoy muy contento, que vengo preparado, que voy a hacer la mejor actuación de toda mi carrera. La verdad es que quiero recuperar ese cinturón.
I'm very well prepared. This is the best I felt before a fight, and I'm looking forward to regaining my world title pretty soon.
Pues quiero que sepan que vengo con todo para ganar esa pelea. Así que te vas a quedar cacaraqueando, gallito, cacaraqueando nomás, porque no creo que cantes como gallo. Te va a hacer bailar esa princesa que dices. Te va a hacer bailar, papá. Las plumas te va a quitar, así te voy a dejar.
I'm gonna unfeather you, leave you just like this chicken here. I came very prepared to do that on Saturday night.
Pues, you remember me. I am strong, I am fast, I'm very, very handsome, baby.
Carlos always brings his own props. He brings his fists and his props to the press conferences. So it's always great to have him on the show. And I mean, that's going to be. It's one thing talking at the press conference, but I know their fists are going to be flying on Saturday night. So we're in for a treat, and that's only the first fight. Normally that would be a main event of a show like this, but that's only the first fight on the HBO telecast. And as Carlos had mentioned, we also want to acknowledge Mr. Honda again and Taiken for their involvement in Carlos's career and getting him to the point where he is now. So, with that being said, we'll get into the co-feature on the show. Someone who I've known for a long time, Tin Man Newhouse. He's a manager of Ryan Martin.
Subscribe to the channel.
When we were having some difficulty getting an opponent for the Monster, you know, Tim called me and said, you know, they're working with Antonio Nieves out of Cleveland, Ohio. Antonio is very hungry. He's got a tremendous record, and he wants to take full advantage of being on the stage on HBO, on a tremendous show like this, fighting for the WBO World Championship. So I'd like to acknowledge. I'd like to acknowledge Dimitri Salita with Salita Promotions. Without Dimitri's help in putting this fight together, his cooperation, you know, it's one thing, you know, if you're going back and forth negotiating, and you can tell if somebody really doesn't want to fight. If someone's easy to deal with, you know that their fighter and their team wants to fight. So I have to acknowledge Dimitri for really helping to put this together. With that, I'll bring up Tim Van Newhouse to say a few words about Antonio, and then he can introduce Antonio.
Hello everybody, Tom, I wanted to give a big thanks to you and your great family, Dorston, Erica, Bernie. You guys are all great to work with. Nieves is a kid that I've known since he was 17 years old, and every time he ever wanted to do something, he did it. He never let anybody down. He accomplished everything that people said that he couldn't accomplish. And when this kid started making noise, and there was a whole bunch of big noise about this kid, Joe Delguide, his trainer, was already eyeing him up, studying him, and he would send me him all the time. I want this kid. If he comes to America, I want to fight him. So I already knew that Joe wanted to fight. It was going to be very, very simple. And they've been studying this kid for a long time, and this is a very, very hungry kid, and he's going to be in a dangerous fight. He's going to be in a very dangerous fight. So with that being said, I hope all you guys are in attendance to witness this. This is a special kid. I want to welcome the WBO top contender, Antonio Nieves.
How you guys doing? Good afternoon. First of all, I want to say thanks to everybody that showed up today. Also want to say thanks to K2 Promotions, Sound Offer, Salita Promotions for getting me this fight. Just like you said, just to like today, everybody is counting me out like I did when I started my career. Like they counted me out with everything else I did in life, and I'm just gonna keep pushing forward and overcome this. He's the champ for a reason. He's a two-time world champion. He obviously puts in the work, but like they said earlier, I'm hungry. I'm the new face in this division. I'm coming down from super bantamweight. Everybody had expectations about me making the weight. The weight came off easy. I'm ready to go. Like I said, nothing but respect to him. Obviously, he's a champion, but I'm coming to fight. I'm ready to do what I got to do to take that belt and keep it here in the United States. I mean, not much to say. I'm ready to fight. I know he's ready to fight. Come Saturday, I know we're gonna put on a show for everybody. But at the end of the night, I hope he's ready because I'd rather die in there than let that belt go back to Japan. Me and my team are ready. We've been doing all the work that we have to do for him. And like I said, we've been eyeing this kid ever since we heard about him, and you know we're ready to go. And that's what we got to do. We're gonna put in that work on Saturday.
You see the heart and passion that Antonio brings with him. You know, you saw what LeBron James did for the city of Cleveland, and if Antonio can bring a world championship back to Cleveland, Ohio, that would be a huge statement for him. So I know he's 100% prepared. He's going to take full advantage of this opportunity, and it's a tremendous story of him getting into this fight. With that being said, I'd like to bring up someone who's never fought in America before, who's never been on HBO before, but who's been talked about by the boxing media, the boxing fans, and huge anticipation for seeing Inoue over here in the United States. I'd like to acknowledge his promoter, Mr. Ohashi, who sees the value of bringing Inoue here to the United States, being on the HBO platform, and being on a show like this. So I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Ohashi for his cooperation with that. With that being said, I'd like to, actually I want to present, we actually got a special gift from the Dodgers in anticipation of Inoue coming here to Los Angeles to fight. So they knew who Inoue is, and they've got some tremendous pitchers from Japan on their staff, so they wanted to present a special gift to Inoue for being on the show here in Los Angeles. Torsten. This is a special jersey. You can see it has Japanese writing on. It's also signed by Kenta Maeda, one of the premier Japanese athletes here in the United States. He's one of the top pitchers for the Dodgers, and Kenta wanted to personally autograph. Here's his signature. Wanted to personally autograph this to Inoue. So with that, I'd like to present this.
I know, that's not it.
So then Inoue will say a few words, and Nobu will translate for him.
まずはじめに、ここアメリカで試合するにあたり、HBO、ケンズプロモーション、帝拳プロモーション、大橋会長、大橋プロモーションに、感謝します。
First of all, I would like to thank all the people that were involved for me to allow this fight in the United States for the first time. HBO, K2 Promotions, Teiken Promotions, Mr. Ohashi, and Ohashi Promotions.
そして、ここ、アメリカで、アメリカのファンの、皆さんの前で、試合をすることにすごく、興奮しております。
I am very excited to be able to fight in front of an American audience.
あさっては、また、ここアメリカで試合ができるように、人生をベストを尽くして頑張りますのでよろしくお願いします。
Day after tomorrow, I'm going to give my life's best to put on a performance that will bring me back to fight here again. Thank you very much.
Just like the Dodgers are one of the top teams in baseball right now, Inoue is considered one of the top pound-for-pound fighters already in the sport of boxing.
Always bringing you guys live press conferences, workouts, all that
He only
stuff.
has 13 fights, but he has 11 knockouts and he's really considered one of the biggest punchers, pound for pound, in the sport. So we want to give a big welcome to him from coming all the way from Yokohama, Japan. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is when fighters travel from so far away, from Thailand, from Japan, from Nicaragua, from Mexico, it isn't used to. It's not the same like when they're fighting in their home country with their home fans and the support and the commissions that they're used to. This is a completely different experience for Inoue and his team, and just like it was for Rungvisai when he fought in New York at Madison Square Garden. It's a huge opportunity, but it's also, you know, the jet lag, the different food, the hotels. There's a lot that goes into them coming from so far away and being on this show. That's why we're so proud to have. This is really, when I was at the media training yesterday, it was really like international, like the United Nations, with all the fighters, all the media, all the fans, and just it's a tremendous honor to put a show like this together.
Thank you, Gail.
When we have those two fights as the entree for the main event, I mean the appetizer really for the main event, I have to say,
tell them where you find
really
your stuff
turns out
too,
to be a tremendous show. Next up, I'd like to introduce someone that we've worked with for a number of different fights. He's become a fan favorite, not only on HBO, not only in America. He's a national hero in Nicaragua.
True.
And you know, he's following. He was universally considered the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. When you can be a 112, 115 pound fighter and have that type of a distinction, it's a tremendous, just a tremendous statement for the accomplishments that he had in the ring. I know Roman is hungry. He wants to get his title back. He wants to show that what happened March 18th in Madison Square Garden you know, wasn't a performance that he should have lost the title. So he wants to show that he is still a champion. I know he's very hungry. He went back to Japan. He was training with Mr. Honda, and he's extremely motivated for this fight. So with that, I'd like to bring up good friend of ours who we've gotten to know well over the last couple of years since we've been working with Chocolatito. I'd like to bring up his manager, Carlos Blandon.
First and foremost, I want to thank God again for having us here in this opportunity. HBO, Taken Promotions, K2 Promotions, the WBC, everyone that showed up, all the media, all the fans that Roman has accumulated throughout the years. His talent has taken him here with the help of God. We want to thank everyone. I think this is going to be a great card on Saturday. Roman and everyone that stands behind him are ready for war. We expect nothing less from Rungvisai. We want to thank him and his camp for accepting the rematch. We know that even if the WBC had ordered it, there is options. So we want to acknowledge the champion. We want to acknowledge every of the other fighters that are here. We're going to make this definitely a super fly card. We know it's the best of the division. We prepared for everything. And coming Saturday, we're going to be ready to give you guys a great show. Roman is in excellent condition. It's a real blessing to be working with him. Just want to take my time to acknowledge personally Gaicho, our grandmother Nagano-san, mother Akemi, our brother Nobu, everyone from K2 means so much for us to be here. Peter, that has opened the doors for us and given us this great opportunity. Some of our new team members, Sendai Tanaka, to our trainer, Nakamura-san, our physical and strength coach, Shin Muraki, assistant trainer. Also our designer, Hector de la Cruz, awesome job. Photographer, Lisette de los Santos, and everyone else that has been able to make this camp an awesome camp and has given us the opportunity to have Roman fight once again here. I want to thank God and I'll introduce you to our pound-for-pound champion, Roman Gonzalez.
Buenas a todos.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Dios me los bendiga.
God bless you.
Bueno, quiero agradecerle ante todo, primeramente a Dios,
Want to
a
thank God.
HBO, a Taken, al señor Honda, a don Mauricio Zula Iván, que me ha dado nuevamente la oportunidad, y a mi amigo Rungvisai, que también me ha dado la oportunidad nuevamente de pelear con él.
I want to thank Mauricio Sulaiman, the WBC, Mr. Honda, Taken, everyone that made this possible, and of course, Rungvisai for giving me the opportunity to fight for the title once again.
Bueno, yo dependo de Dios, porque Él es el único que me tiene aquí de pie, quien me ha dado la fortaleza y la bendición de estar nuevamente con cada uno de ustedes.
Of course, I'm here because of God. He's given me the blessings to be in front of you here today.
He venido, como en todas mis peleas, en la mejor condición. Yo sé que va a ser una pelea muy bonita, como al público le gusta, esperando en Dios que puedan disfrutar la pelea y que Dios me los bendiga de nuevamente, y pues todas las cosas que he tenido se las he puesto en la mano de Dios. Bendiciones a todos.
I come well prepared, like I always do for all my fights. I hope to give you a wonderful fight, just like I try every time I get into the ring. And like everything, I'm blessed by God for having this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. You can see how serious he is about getting his title back. It was a setback for him. As he mentioned, the WBC ordered it. The fans wanted to see it, and luckily we were able to put it together for this Saturday night. With that, I'd like to introduce the champion, the WBC Super Flyweight Champion of the world. Rungvisai wants to show what happened March 18th in Madison Square Garden wasn't a fluke, that he is the true champion, and that's what makes, you can see the hunger in these fighters, that's what makes this matchup such a tremendous matchup, and we really, as Carlos said, we have to give credit to both fighters of accepting this rematch. The first fight was a very tough fight for both guys, and for them to go through their hard work, their training camp, to do it one more time, it's really a tribute to their honor and everything that they want to accomplish. With that, I'd like to bring up Bank, who can say a few words about their promotion, and then introduce the champion, Rungvisai.
Thank you, Tom. So, 8 years ago, Sisake saw Rungvisai walk into our gym, Nakhon Lung Promotion in Thailand. He had a boxing record back then of 1 win, 3 losses, 1 draw. And he was a full-time trash collector when he had to pick up food from trash to eat on difficult days. But from that day on, he decided to dedicate his whole life into boxing. From that day on, he decided to work day in, day out to be the best boxer he could be. And against all the odds, he became a great boxer. And 8 years later, on March 18, 2017, he got the opportunity to fight against #1 pound for pound best boxer in the world, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. And he was given the odds of 1-14 or 1-20 to win the fight. But again, against all the odds, he won the fight and he became the champion of the world. So this is the man that never backed down from any challenges. This is the man that consistently beats all the odds that are put against him. He's now a national hero of Thailand. And on Saturday night, he'll have the whole nation of Thailand behind him. On Saturday night, people in the whole country of Thailand will be cheering for him, will be supporting him. So for on Saturday night, he'll be fighting for something that's bigger than himself this time. So that's why he's more motivated than he has ever been. So on Saturday night, you will see the faster, stronger, and better version of your WBC Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Sisake Rungvisai. It will be another fight of the year. It will be another great fight. We have to thank you, WBC, HBO, and K2 Promotion for this opportunity. So I would like to introduce to you your WBC Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Sisake Rungvisai.
ขอบคุณ SBO ขอบคุณ WBC ขอบคุณ K2 Promotion แล้วก็สวัสดีผู้สื่อข่าวทุกคนแล้วก็แฟนมวยทุกท่านผมขอบคุณโรมัน กอนซาเลสที่ที่ให้ผมได้ต่อยกับโรมัน กอนซาเลสผมรู้สึกดีใจมากที่ผมได้ต่อยกับโรมัน กอนซาเลสที่เวทีใหญ่ๆและผมจะนำเข็มขัดกับเมืองไทยให้ได้ครับ
So good afternoon everyone. First of all, I have to thank HBO, WBC, and K2 Promotion for this great opportunity. And thank you all, everyone, to be here today. And I also have to thank Roman Gonzalez to give me the opportunity to fight with me last time and also this time. I'm very happy and I'm very proud that I am standing here and getting to fight in such a great event and a great show. And I'm very confident and I'll do my best to bring the belt and the title back to Thailand this time.
ไฟนี้ผมซ้อมมา4 เดือนเต็มผมซ้อมหนักมากผมมั่นใจว่ายังไงผมก็ต้องชนะได้เข็มขัดกับเมืองไทยให้ได้ครับแล้วก็ถึงผมจะแพ้จะชนะผมก็โรมันก็จะสู้ผมยากครับผม
So I have been training for full 4 months this time, so I'm very ready. I'm super ready to bring the belt and the title back to Thailand this time. And regardless of the result for this fight, one thing that I'm very confident is that Roman Gonzalez will have to face a tough challenge because he is fighting me on Saturday night.
สุดท้ายนี้ผมขอฝากพี่น้องชาวไทยที่อยู่อเมริกาช่วยมาดูผมเยอะๆแล้วก็ช่วยเชียร์แล้วก็เป็นกำลังใจให้ผมด้วยนะครับขอบคุณมากครับ
So lastly, I would like to invite all the Thais in LA and in the US to come to the stadium and cheer for me and support me to win this fight and take the title back to Thailand. Thank you so much.
Paul and Modern. All the post-fight interviews are still coming too.
Thank you, Bank. Thank you, Sister Kat, for
stay tuned for
representing
subscribe to
the championship with so much honor. And again, a lot of champions win the belt, and then if a rematch is ordered, many of them don't want to do the rematch. So we really have to acknowledge both of these tremendous combatants. What I'd like to do now is. Bernie, if we could, we'll pose the fighters. We have a tremendous amount of world-class fighters, world champions here on the dais, so you'll have to be patient so we can get each individual pairing, and then one group shot, including the fighters that are not on the dais. We should have one group shot honoring every fighter that's going to be on the show. Thank you very much for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the weigh-in, and then naturally Saturday night at the StubHub. One last announcement before we go. Roy actually had an announcement that what is it? The fighters. Where do they have to go? Here we go. Fighters. Oh yeah, the fighters have to report after the press conference to Salon 1. We do have a pre-licensing meeting with the California Commission, and it's right there in the back. So. There are a lot of other things to take care of now. We'll get to what everyone's waiting for, the pose off between all the fighters on the show. Thank you.
Guys, just want to sit tight for a minute. We're going to get their release picture.
Should you switch it out? Should you switch out the sound, do you think? Or what do you think? No? No? Okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Acá, por favor. Mire, por favor, por acá. All the way in the back, please, from the TV station. Sir, we gotta move. Move.
Guys, over here.
All the way over the right. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Okay, Mr. Nieves, Mr. Inoue, please. Stick around, Carlos. Stick around, Hey! Over here. One Francisco. One.
Bring that hand out a little bit. There you go.
Okay. All the way in the back, please, gentlemen. All the way in the back. It's okay to smile at someone. Carita! Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Face forward, face forward. Hey! Down here, one time, please, gentlemen. Palatita, aquí, over here.
Okay, yo, guys, you gotta get down. You gotta get down. Would you be able to get down a little bit, Oliver, please? Get down, bro. Yeah. That'll stay up and you get down. Yeah. Come on. Yo, you gotta get down and move. Get down and move. Move then. You gotta go back.
And over here to the right.
Yeah, sit down. My man, the camera's behind you. There's a seat right here. Sit down. Thank you. The camera's behind you.
Thank you. One picture with Tom.
Please get down. Move up.
¡Nicaragua!
¡Nicaragua viva!
¡Nicaragua! Cuadras. Get it out, man. It's gotta work. All the way in the back first. Gotcha, sir. All right.
Get down. Get
All right,
down. Get
everybody
down, please. Get down, please.
One for the TVs, one for the back, please.
Bernie. Only because, or else they're going to get up. Sir. Sir. Please.
Okay, over here to the right, please. Everybody look to the right, please. Everybody look in the center down here, please. Una vez aquí. Just gonna move over just a little bit. There we go. Over here, on this side, please. Up.
Black t-shirt.
One more all the way in the back, please. All the way in the back for the TV cameras, please. One, Francisco, move up just a little bit.
Yo, great t-shirt.
Okay? Thank you, gentlemen.
Go. Let's go. Follow him. Stay in front of him. Stay in front of him.
Pues, si quiere bailar con la princesa, lo vamos a dejar que baile.
You gonna dance?
Claro, le vamos a dar un buen bailecito ahí. Arriba de mí. ¡Tome, papá! ¡Tome, papá!
¿Feliz?
Ya, estoy contento porque vamos a ganar. ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué? ¿Estamos bien?
¿Estás bien? Oye, dime una cosa. Fue esto que estuvo muy interesante para la presentación. Pero luego nos otra vez que...
Claro, ahora vengo con todo. Vengo fuerte. Yo creo que ahorita vengo más fuerte que cuando peleé con el mismo Chocolate. Y vengo listo para ganar. Esta pelea no me la quita nadie. Y no creo que llegue a las cartas de los jueces. Vamos a tratar que se caiga antes. Creo que tengo la potencia y aquí tengo su medicina.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevas entrenando? Directa con Chocolatito y luego de la placa lista con él. Como que te la quitaron de la mesa esa entrevista directa, ¿no?
Bueno, sí, me la quitaron, pues son cuestión de negocios. Espero que ahora las reglas del WBC las respeten y que el ganador se enfrente contra el que gane de Chocolate y Rungvisai. Bueno, Estrada es un gran peleador, es un peleador mexicano, es un peleador duro, pero yo creo que siempre es una guerra arriba del ring cuando se enfrentan dos mexicanos, pero creo que tengo las mayores cualidades, la mayor rapidez y la mayor inteligencia para ganar esta pelea. Así lo voy a dejar al gallo desplomado como este pollo, así va a chillar el sábado. Gracias. Bueno, pues ya primero me quiero subir a la báscula, comer rico y después estar ahí arriba del ring.
Hablando de comer, hace unas semanas me dijiste que tú tenías la receta para un gran caldo de gallo. Como dijiste, tú sigue igual la receta.
Claro, ahí tengo las verduras, el Talnor Suiza ya está listo para echarle al caldito.
Y bueno, puedes regresar a tu comentario que dijiste que no crees que esta pelea llega a la decisión.
No llega a la decisión. Yo lo puedo machacar desde el principio y no creo que me aguante los rounds este Gallo Estrada. La verdad es que vengo fuerte. Y mira, mija, aquí está su medicina.
Últimamente un mensaje para todos los mexicanos y todas las personas que van a ver tu pelea. Bueno, ya
así va a llorar el gallo. No se pierdan la pelea porque lo voy a dejar desplumadito como este pollo. Además de que no es gallo, que es gallina el vato.
Cuadras, siempre imprimiéndole mucha emoción, mucha carisma a la conferencia.
Bueno, qué bueno que les guste, qué bueno que les guste. Yo nomás hago mis ideas y pues lo hago, ¿no?
¿Cuál es tu favor caldo? Caldo de
gallina, porque se me dice que no es gallo, que es gallina.
What's he saying?
No, verán a otro cuadras, un cuadras nuevo, más fuerte y con mayor velocidad y mayor potencia de puños.
¿Mejor?
Ya estamos, no, sí, mucho mejor. Ahora entrené bastante bien.
¿Cómo el teléfono?
Estuve bastante bien, estuve dándole.
Sube gallo.
Dándole duro.
Carlos,
¿es
que se cabe todo el pedo?
Ya.
Fírmame la gallina y dámela. Carlos,
ahorita sí la doy.
No, mira que se acabe todo el pedo.
Ah, ya no lo gusta.
Fírmame la fondo y más esa, Carlos.
Toda la gente de Nicaragua que nos está viendo, así va a quedar el Gallo Estrada como este pollito desplumado. Oh, pues para que mire cómo va a quedar. Es una pequeña reseña de cómo va a quedar el gallo.
Muchas gracias.
Carlos, can I get a face off?
Yeah.
When you faced off with him, what did you tell him? You were talking.
Le dije que le iba a ganar, que lo iba a noquear, que no iba a hacer nada. I told him, I win, I'm more strong. He's not have straight.
I'm not going to actually go.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, sorry.
Everyone just ran out of here. Everyone ran out of here.
We're still here in the hotel. Are you going to talk to Nieves right now?
Yeah, just real quick. It's Antonio. Antonio, how you doing, brother? Steve McHale. Can I talk to you real quick?
Sure.
Here with Antonio Nieves, man. Tell us, how do you plan on shock the world on Saturday, brother?
I'm gonna come do what I do all the time, and that's fight. And I'm not gonna let him get off. I'm not gonna let him do what he does. And that's he manhandles people at the lower weights, but we're gonna come in and do what we do.
Your manager was saying you've been watching him for a little while now.
Right.
So, like, what kind of goes into preparation? Obviously, when you're preparing for other fights, you're not preparing for him. But so what is it? You kind of like watch what he's doing, just kind of study him the whole way. Like
we look at his habits, look what he likes to do. We look at what he doesn't like, what his discomforts are. You know what I'm saying? So we pick up on those things, and when they present themselves in the fight, we're gonna take advantage of them.
So like seeing the tapes and all that stuff, you feel like in the ring, you see when he
does,
make him uncomfortable, things like that.
Right. No, we know where to go to where he doesn't want to fight, or where he's stay aware where what he wants to do, things like that. Like stay away from his powerful hand. Just things that we got to make sure that we keep. And one thing is keep our defense.
You're obviously going to be the bigger guy coming from a higher weight class. How do you kind of use that to your advantage?
Push him around, lean on him. You know what I'm saying? Make him have to wrestle in there with me a little bit to take some of that air out. That's going to bring down some of his power when he's more fatigued. Then he's going to bring down that power that he supposedly has.
You, with a win on Saturday, you would be the second Puerto Rican fighter right now that has a belt. Obviously, Miguel just won a belt about 2-3 weeks ago. What does that mean to you, man?
It means everything, and I'm dedicating this fight to Puerto Rico. They're going through a devastating right now with the Hurricane Irma. I'm gonna do everything I gotta do to win that title and dedicate that fight to them, to my people out there in Puerto Rico.
Tell the fans where they can follow you, man. Social media, see the journey.
Social media, my full name Antonio Nieves on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of it. it, I'm on there's all my full name.
Antonio, best of luck, sir. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
She comes? She didn't come with you? No, she's got to drive. I'm recording.
How much more?
There's a scrum with some guiles.
I don't know. I saw him old, but I've never seen him either. It's like someone just surrounded me and started asking me questions. Alright guys, we're going to see who else is here, see who else we could get for you guys. I believe Sanisa left, but we'll see. If she didn't, we'll talk to her.
Yeah, it is the DoubleTree Hotel in Carlson. If you just go to the front.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of them have to do. Like medicals and shit like that.
Yeah, then I tried following for a month, but then over there is like the kitchen.
Oh, he just went in right away. Yeah.
40 seconds, 6. I like that office. Yeah, thanks for moving.
I guess let's pack it up. I'll get better.
Uno de los que encabezan la lista de peligrosidad son los golpes de conejo. Ya el Consejo dijo que pidió cero tolerancia. Siempre está en manos del referee, es el que tiene la última palabra en implementar todos estos. Mauricio ha tenido ya juntas, conferencias para hablar con comisionados, con referees para transmitir la importancia que es el aplicar los reglamentos con cabezazos y golpes de conejo, que son los más peligrosos. Digo, los cabezazos pueden ser los más escandalosos, los golpes de conejo los más peligrosos, sin duda. Entonces sí, Mauricio está haciendo algo.
¿Y cómo hacer para que se apliquen en esta pelea? Que fue una de las cosas que uno no entendió, porque el título del CMB y el reglamento se respetó, por lo menos no se aplicó de parte de jueces, que sabemos que ustedes no los nombran.
Exacto. Bueno, pues es un diálogo que Mauricio debe tener cercano y debe estar muy al pendiente con el referee. Repito que él es el principal responsable de que estas reglas, de que se lleven a cabo la seguridad en una pelea y que se lleven y que se respeten estas reglas. Entonces es cuestión de Mauricio y los referees.
Una de las decisiones más rápidas que se tomó fue esta revancha inmediata después del resultado polémico de la primera pelea en Chocolatito y Rungvisai, pero también se agregó la pelea de Estrada y de Cuadras, diciendo que los ganadores irían, pero da la impresión que el camino que sigue esto es una pelea en Chocolatito y el japonés Inoue.
Pues es una pelea mandatoria de que ganen las dos peleas. Entonces puede haber flexibilidad entre que haya una pelea antes, pero es una pelea que debe ser, porque así lo ha pedido, así lo ha marcado Mauricio y con el Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Entonces, pues Mauricio es el que puede ahondar más en este tema, pero es mandatoria, oficialmente mandatoria, y pues así debe ser. El que gane de estas dos peleas se va a enfrentar. Gracias.
¿Qué pasaría si al final los promotores deciden montar lo más Inoue? ¿El CMB estaría dispuesto a dar una prórroga más?
Everybody, we do need to clear this room. There's another function that's going to go in here, and they need to start breaking it down. So if you can start to wrap up and exit, because this room is going to be used for another event later this evening. But we can be welcome to head to the lobby.
Es una pelea que se tiene que hacer, porque así está el reglamento. Peleas mandatorias se tienen que llevar a cabo. Pero Mauricio va a venir mañana, espero que mañana nos pueda, a mí también, responder estas incógnitas.
Ya conocen los nombres de los tres jueces, ustedes y el referee, ¿quiénes son? Esta pelea del sábado.
No, miren, la representante del consejo iba a venir hoy, pero está enferma. Ella venía con las credenciales, venía también con la lista de los jueces ya anunciados. Si quiere lo averiguo y se lo digo más tarde. En este momento no lo sé. Pero sí, con todo gusto puedo buscar esa información.
Y una página no lo pone, no.
Again, everybody, if you can start breaking down and leaving, we do need to have this room turned.
Gracias, Pepe. You got the, okay, yeah, good call.
We need to clear it, or Alan Gomez will be our muscle, and he will personally escort you out. Don't mess with Alan.
It's fucking expensive. And you can live early anyway.
He looks like he's like about to do something. Yeah, I talked to Nieves already. I feel like.
His name's Nieves?
Yeah, it is with a V.
Yeah. I thought he was like Viloria guy. Oh, he was the one that didn't show up.
Oh, Sonisa's right there.
Any other sport, you know, win.
There he is.
I think boxing is the only sport is how you win.
On Wi-Fi?
No.
I was like, how did you get on?
Or am I?
Sinisa?
No, I'm not.
What's your last name?
Estrada.
She's fighting 5 round or 6 round?
It's 8 rounder, I think.
How long is she on record? I interviewed her, but I don't know.
She's like 8-0, I believe.
One is in Carson, beautiful outside. Venue's coming out for
Right. He's sitting there like talking shit. I go, you know what?
And then I watched it.
You know what? It wasn't me. It was my stepson. Well, I'm gonna do it.
I just refused to, like, you know, Nahara's not. But I watched it.
I can't figure out why not.
Yeah, 3.3 million.
Vegas?
Yeah. I feel like I have 30.
This is a second. Good morning. Look at that.
Were they hot? My wife put it on.
I'm here.
Wait, your wife did that? Yeah, I guess.
Sorry.
I tried to call her the question. I'm in a great story. Do whatever you want.
I was like, can you drive?
I'm a little bit surprised.
My sister drives all over cars. I'm like, sorry, you were late.
I didn't miss anything. There's nothing. Boring ass person.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Like, no, all the, yeah, all the just
Yeah.
well, yeah, I they're the freaking ones that talk about like
I didn't mind the time today. I didn't miss anything.
they were like over 200 the boxer. I'm like,
And why? What was the reason? That sounds like something video. So you're going fast. I don't know what, because we're both north. Right?
actually kept laughing. He was laughing at nothing. He started laughing. Chuckle every now and then.
Yeah, I wanted to work for NASA. Exactly.
You want to talk to somebody?
I think I did tell you that one. It doesn't matter. Didn't we just say we should Jerry?
I've never interviewed a girl.
Well, Star Wars, know where you're staying. Or Star Wars, something I always think. Okay, that's fair.
Let's talk about what we just saw right now. Ready?
What?
You want to talk about what? What do you think about the press conference?
Besides the rude people talking over the boxer and the promoter, it was good. You know, you see the death stares of Inoue and Chocolatito and Gonzalez. So Rungvisai's promoter or his promoter, was that his manager? Or his translator?
The translator. I think it's his manager. I think.
That was such an amazing intro.
That was.
It was
great.
powerful.
It was great.
You have to watch it. It was really good. And, you know, they said he's not just fighting for the belt. He's a national hero in Thailand. So for them to bring back that belt back home, it's everything to them.
That was crazy. That story that he was.
Trash
he picked
collector.
a trash collector and then he ate food from the trash when he had to.
I read his when I was researching about him. He would work from say 6 in the morning till midnight, and he goes. So for me to go train as many hours as it is and eat and sleep, it's essentially the same thing but a different schedule. It's a different work ethic. It's like he finds this even harder.
Yeah.
And so you know, but
that's crazy. It's excellent for him. It's a testament to how tough he is in the ring too. And some of the other media members and I were talking about the main event. I see it going the distance as well. That's a tough guy. How did Cuadras knock him out? I know Cuadras knocked him out, but I don't know how. I don't know if it was like cuts or
I don't
technical
remember.
or if he actually knocked him out.
I think it was. No, I don't remember being a TKO. I just saw that fight not too long ago.
Cuadras and Rungvisai?
Yeah, no. Wait, are you talking about Rungvisai or?
No, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Cuadras and
I don't remember. I saw that fight too. I saw so many fights, but you know, it's like it was a 360. Let me remember. Cuadras, no. So Rungvisai had the belt. Cuadras took it from him. So Rungvisai took the belt from Cuadras. Now so Rungvisai took the belt back from Chocolatito. So it's like gone in a circle.
Yeah, I know it did.
And
yeah.
now it's like, who wants the belt again? But it's kind of amazing when they said, Gallo, his manager, said he's better than both of them. I was like, wow. He wants the belt.
Juan Marquez said that Gallo showed the best Mexican fighter there is right now. That's a lot.
That's a lot. I mean,
saying he's better than Canelo. So.
Yep. I mean, maybe Mexican in his division, but not fighter.
No, he said best Mexican fighter there is right now. Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, he's a beautiful fighter. That's a lot to say.
Yeah. I mean,
but
he
that's
did really
coming
good.
from Juan Marquez.
He did a really good job against Chocolatito. That fight. I mean, that was a very close decision too. I mean, all these fights, all the super flyweights. It's such a
This card is so good.
I mean,
and non-TV is you have Nieves and Inoue fighting.
Yeah.
You have Brian Viloria fighting.
Yeah. And who was the other one? The one that sold tickets. And they're supposed to be heavyweight. I saw that.
Oh, Ruslan, somebody.
Yeah.
He's a lightweight, I think.
Oh, I saw like a heavyweight.
But even that guy, he's the lightweight is what was it like? I think he himself has like 9 fights with 7 KOs or something. The guy he's fighting is like 23, 0 and 21.
That's ballsy. That's Abel's fighter. That's ballsy to go.
Nuts.
I thought it was going to be at least kind of a close.
Yeah, like 23, 17 losses or something.
One of them had
like,
a 9-0, or the other one had a 21, not 23 and 9, or So this will be fun.
Early on, like for real.
The doors open at 4, so I mean, I'm gonna have to start getting ready at 12. Like, you know how to do? Do you understand?
You see his eyebrows? Or his eyelashes? I mean, those take time.
You know, I have good days and bad days. And Stub Up Center, I'm allergic to, so. I have eye leakage all the time. You know it, it's true.
Dude, the allergies are kicking there for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long, long day.
It will be.
It'll be fun. I mean, you guys, if you don't have tickets, make sure you guys. I know. Cute. Her hair looks so pretty. But yeah, it's on Ring TV, the undercard.
She used to go to the gym like 2 minutes from my house.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I'd see her all the time. All right, guys. Well, tune in. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Cynthia Conte's channel as well.
CONTE, my YouTube, and you'll get to see some. You'll get to see me. You'll get to see me talk to boys, well, boxers really, and then grill them. I ask them what the other guys won't ask them, like what color shirt. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do know my boxing, so you should go check it out.
And, follow her on Instagram too. Yeah. Her story, she's always watching boxing on there too.
Yes, I am.
You were watching classic boxing the other day.
I love it. You know, I'm that girl that every guy would love to have because I love boxing. I watch old classic boxing.
She's obviously very humble too, as you could tell.
Yes. I know. You know, put me in a ring, I'll show you what's up. You know, don't hit my face. I need my face.
Thank you guys.
Don't mess up my lashes.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
Subscribe to the channel. Thank
Bye
you guys
guys.
for watching. Appreciate it.
Get the fights.